Well, if you're like me, you've got things in your car's glove box that you need and a bunch of stuff in the glove box that you don't need. So what are some glove box essentials? Automotive expert Casey Jordan is here with some tips and with a glove box. I hope the car is okay, Casey. Everything fine?
The car is just fine.
All right, Casey. Let's talk about the glove box. It's not just for gloves anymore. What items should we keep in our glove boxes and why?
Well, you know, I have professionally looked through many glove boxes that consumers have had. And, you know, you see all sorts of different things, and you see stuff that you shouldn't be there, and there's stuff that shouldn't be there. So really one of the most important things that you should have in your glove box, first off, is your insurance card, because that's what you need to do in case you get stopped or get into an accident. That is one of the most important things you should have. And always make sure it's up to date. So it's a great idea today to just check your insurance card and make sure it's the current one. You should also keep the service log out of your owner's manual and make sure that all your service records are up to date, but not keep the actual service forms that were in your glove box. Always a flashlight and a tire gauge. Your wheel lock adapter. If you have locking wheels on your vehicle, the best place to put your wheel lock adapter is in the glove box. That way you can find it in a hurry. And if you ever bring your car in for service, they're asking, where is that wheel lock adapter? Just say, oh, it's in my glove box. Some people try to hide them, but that's not always such a good idea. One of the things that really helps out is if you have the business card of your mechanic or your body shop. For example, if your car does break down, if you have that card in there, and if you're not the owner, if you're not the user of the vehicle at the time that the car breaks down, you definitely can have that card in there as well.
All right, how about first aid kits and tools? A lot of people keep tools, first aid kits, things like that. Is that a good place for it?
First aid kit is, you know, this is a small first aid kit, and it may fit in your glove box, but it may not. Some of these things like first aid kits and tools are sometimes best left, you know, in other parts of your car, because if you bunch it up, you can't get it open and get to what you need.
Now, my dad's car was broken into. These idiots busted the window out and rifled through everything. Luckily, he didn't have anything in there of value. What should you not keep in your glove box?
Well, this is the most important thing never to keep in your glove box, and that is the title to your car. You'd be surprised how many people actually think that's the place to leave your title. But in the event of a theft or a fire of your vehicle, you can't settle that insurance loss because you actually need the title to your vehicle. So never keep the title to the vehicle. If you have a seatbelt holder and a glass breaker and a seatbelt cutter, never keep this in your glove box, because if you're in an accident, the seatbelt will pin you to the seat. You'll never be able to reach your glove box. This is always something that you should keep in a console or a door panel as well. Also, never keep your spare key in your car, because if suddenly a thief breaks in and takes your key, you know, they can take your car.
Make it easy for them, for sure.
So one of the most important things, though, that I see is service records. Lots of service records, and you never want to keep the service records in your vehicle. There's just too many of them, and service records are so important because when you go to sell your car or trade it in, you know, if the maintenance work is not logged through the service records, it's as if it didn't happen. So anyone who buys your car or is going to trade in your car, they're going to look and say, well, there's no service history. I can't tell whether you've done the spark plugs and things like that. Some of that stuff, there's just that lack of transparency. So get a nice folder when you get your new car and put all your service records in there, and it'll really help you at trade-in time.
That's a good point, Casey. Thanks a lot for being with us, and thanks for bringing the glove box with you today. Very, very helpful prop today. If you have a question for Casey, send him an email. Ask Casey at kview.com. He'll be back real soon to answer some of those questions.